Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Saturday afternoon here in Appalachia. As you can see, I got a fire going this time. I just thought it would be nice to have a fire. Keep those little no-see-ums away. But also, just for the sacredness of the fire, I just thought it was a good idea. Even if it is, 85 degrees out here. Still a good idea to have a sacred fire. So what did we want to talk about today? The topic came to me about 15 or 20 minutes ago, maybe half an hour ago. And it was attention and intention. AT tension and IT tension. And it started with some things that had come by, very few things, fortunately, that had come by social media about what's happening in our world. Somebody posted something. And another reason for less and less social media, somebody posted something about Israel and Iran. The deep state has wanted to go, for some reason, to war with Iran for almost decades. It was over 25 years ago, 24 years ago when 9/11 happened. And then we went into Iraq, and there was a lot of, I believe, a lot of propaganda around that. I know that from what I read, the first place that the military went was the Baghdad Museum. Why? What is so important about Iraq and Iran and Mesopotamia and that whole Tigris Euphrates area that seems to scare, or at least is used to scare the masses? The whole WMD thing, weapons of mass destruction. But what is it really? I had another video where I talked about, what you are shown is a distraction. Think about what's not being shown. So why is it that this area, here we are 25 years later, and this area is still so important? We know a lot of it has to do with anybody who's thinking knows that a lot of it has to do with hydrocarbons. Iran is rich in hydrocarbons. I believe they're rich, especially in natural gas. But I think there's more to it than that. Anyway, I just saw, it was actually on YouTube this morning. I went there to go see what happened, just to watch the highlights of the Detroit Tigers baseball game last night. And there was this whole line of things from breaking news, and it's my neighbor mowing her lawn and cleaning up. There was this whole thing of breaking news, and it was all of them were about Iran and Israel. Okay, so it started. They've been talking about this for 2 decades. So it started. But it's all the more reason to not watch the news. It's all the more reason to not give it our attention. And so that's where I got into the attention and intention thought process today. because there's, in Taoism, they have a saying, at least Lee Holden talks about it all the time. He mentions it a lot. Energy flows where attention goes. So where we focus our attention, and the attention is usually focused with our eyes. Okay, now we can close our eyes and focus our attention on sound, but we're really not trained to do that in this society. Although it's a very good thing to do, especially early in the morning out here with the birds waking up. It's fascinating because you can't see them, you just hear them. And there's a lot of them, and they have a lot of beautiful and different sounds. So energy flows where attention goes. So where do we want our energy to flow? Well, the first thing is to set our intention, in being inside, usually with the heart space. And we can set our intention to be kind and generous today. And then we can focus our attention on things outside of us that will help us to realize that intention. And watching the news, if your intention is things like peace of mind, calmness and tranquility, balance and stability, that is not going to be achieved by focusing our attention on war and famine. Could be the four horsemen of the apocalypse: war, famine, and war, famine. What were those four? Whatever is in the Bible there. Pestilence. Yeah. That's not where we want to focus our attention. So be very aware and discerning about where you focus your attention every day. The key is to be consistent every day. I still say, for anybody who has the means or can figure out how to achieve it, get out of the cities, get somewhere, whether it's a small town or out in the woods, somewhere in nature. But whatever it is, get out of the cities and out of the suburbs, because they're just bad energy, too chaotic. The human body, which is an electromagnetic machine in its physical sense, is not designed for that chaotic energy. And this is why those of you who are being called at this time during this awakening that has been happening now very powerfully, especially the past few years, you need to get out of the cities. I think. That's my opinion. That's what worked for me and the suburbs. And get into calmer energy. And whether or not you can do that or not, and this is especially for the men, we have to, I've said this many times, and I'll say it again, we have to ground ourselves in this body, on this planet, in this eternal now that we are experiencing. Last week I gave some thoughts about how to do that. I want to give another one, something I've been practicing this week, and that is it's a combination of things, but I'll just say if I stand, I'll do this sitting down, but I could do this standing up with my palms up, and I focus my intention and my attention on connecting my palms and my crown to heaven, cosmic energy, right? And I focus my feet and my tailbone to Mother Earth. And now I've got 6 connection points to ground myself in this body, connected to heaven and earth, balanced, stable, and connected. And all of this runs right to here, into the heart. Okay. So try doing this on a daily basis for a minute, 30 seconds, anything. Just focus your attention and intention. I intend to connect to heaven and earth, and just put your attention on your palms and your crown, your feet and your tailbone, and just stabilize your energy, balance the energy in you, because you are the only thing you can control. And if more of us do that, we will have a positive effect on the chaos and the things that are going on around us. If we can focus and get that energy coming into here, the next thing you can do is you can actually broadcast it out, right? If you're like this, bringing it all in, up and down, right into the heart, and then just shoot it out and just broadcast it. Then just picture it. Picture yourself sitting on planet Earth, surrounding planet Earth with your heart energy. What a wonderful thing. We are so powerful we can do that. We're not taught this, quite the opposite. But we are that powerful that we can do that. We can bring in this energy. We don't need a solar panel. We don't need a grounding cord. All we need to do is set our intention and then focus our attention to bring in all this energy and then focus it out from the heart space. And we will have an effect on our world, a very positive effect. So I hope you'll do that with me this week. I'll do it every morning. I have been doing it every morning. I saw a video. There's an old video of a snippet of Paul McCartney from the Beatles talking about how music brings people together and how his friend John Lennon wrote a song called Give Peace a Chance. And 1 million people gathered in Washington, D.C. back in the early 1970s. This would probably been about 72, 73. 1 million people gathered in Washington, D.C. They sang this song in front of the White House when Nixon was president, Give Peace a Chance. And soon after that, very soon after that, because it was in 1973 when the United States pulled out of Saigon and left the Vietnam War. And that was the end of that for us, for the United States. 1 million people singing a song from the heart space had an effect. So that's what we need to do again. And we need to do this a lot. Okay? So you can only control you, but you can have a very big effect. Set your intention, focus your attention, and see what happens. But don't let that, all that violence and that chaos into your life, because it will have a very bad effect on you, on all of us. So if we stop giving them our attention, and we focus our energy elsewhere, that's how we change the world. All right? Attention and intention. Just take 30 seconds every day. That's all you got to do. Until next time, cosmic energy, earth energy, heart energy. Send loving heart energy out to all beings, all dimensions, all timelines, all realities. May this day be filled with compassion, loving kindness, and courage. Till next time.